Hello and welcome to this edition of Reporters. Today we're turning our attentions to a shocking taboo in Madagascar, where the birth of twins has for generations been viewed as bad luck. Families on the East African island are deeply traditional and are guided by the rulings of local kings. A poor nation separated from the rest of the world, their way of life has for decades remained largely unchanged. Parents believe twins are cursed, and as per local rulings, they're separated at birth, either through death or adoption. But some adoption agencies are seizing on the opportunity to make money from foreign families desperate to adopt these children. And as our correspondents explain, in a country suffering from great political difficulty, the plight of twins is not a priority.
It's the story of a curse. Located 500 kilometers outside the capital Antananarivo on the southeastern coast of the island of Madagascar, this center is led by a French NGO. It's an orphanage with a specialty: twins. In this isolated region, an ancient taboo has been handed down. According to tradition, twins bring bad luck. Parents aren't allowed to keep them.
If they make the mistake of keeping their twins, something bad will happen to their family. Like everyone will die or they'll get really sick.
This is the heartland of the Antaboque, one of Madagascar's 18 ethnic groups. Antaboque twins are the only ones in the world that are abandoned, and being abandoned is the best case scenario. To better understand this tradition, we set out to meet King NICOLE, the most respected of the city's 10 or so customary kings. His house may be small, but this king is powerful. As the guardian of tradition, King NICOLE's word is absolute.
The problem has always come from the mother.
And what happens when twins are born?
The family doesn't keep them, it gives them away.
Why?
Because it's taboo. If a family keeps them, everyone will die.
So it's impossible to keep them? Once the pearl of the Indian Ocean, today 85% of Madagascar's population lives under the poverty line. Among the 22,000 Antaboque, the situation is even worse. Isolation and poverty have encouraged them to hold on to their traditional values. At the heart of the twin taboo is the issue of infanticide. Official statistics show there are half the number of twins among the Antaboque than in the rest of the country.
In the old days, they would put the twins on the ground at the entrance of the cowshed. When the cows would enter the shed, of course they would trample the babies. But if by chance the newborn survived, then the family would keep it. That's the way it was then. I can tell you that even today in Mananjary, there's a field where they used to throw the bodies. And today people say it's the most fertile field.
Even in the 21st century, this area of Madagascar is still afraid of the curse. Mike and Gogo are 29-year-old twins. Along with a handful of volunteers, they travel regularly to the bush to encourage the local population to accept people like them. The twins are unwelcome in the Tranobe, the home of the king of Mananjary, so the meeting takes place in a schoolroom. The audience is composed solely of women and children. Not a single man from the village cared to attend, apart from the 3 village kings.
Often the kings, or panjakas, say that twins bring bad luck. But today, I think they bring good luck.
The conversation is polite, but tense. It's hard to break tradition. Mike and Gogo tell the village kings that their presence has never killed anyone.
The panjaka said he was going to make a decision concerning twins.
The audience is impatient to hear the verdict. The kings accept to shake Mike and Gogo's hand to enthusiastic applause. This gesture is a violation of the taboo, which outlaws physical contact with twins, a belief that's especially present in the bush.
It's stronger in the countryside than in the city. Over there aren't as many people who try to convince the parents to keep their twins. But in the city, there are preachers and school teachers. RANIVOAIOA broadcasts programs that educate parents on the issue.
There are only a handful of NGOs that go out to the remote areas to discuss the twin taboo. Often it's religious groups that take up the challenge to help families. Sister Sabine is a nurse in her community at Nosvarki, around 50 kilometers from Mananjary. She's been traveling up and down the Pangalan Canal, a freshwater river 600 kilometers long that runs parallel to the Indian Ocean, to offer help to poor families. In particular, Sister Sabine visits those rare families that have the courage to keep their twins.
She had 4 children.
This young woman in the Empanana village gave birth to twins twice in a row. 4 children with the curse, 4 mouths to feed. Her husband left her. She has no income and depends on the kindness of others to survive. In Antaboque country, to stand up to the taboo means being excluded from the entire community. Abandoned twins can find a new life through adoption. The region abounds with unwanted children. But Malagasi's looking to adopt don't come here. They're wary of the curse. Instead, people come to adopt from overseas. Madagascar is an important stop for adoption agencies. The CATJA, a transit center for abandoned twins, was created over 20 years ago. The center is focused on adoption. Located on the outskirts of Mananjary, the center is well known to Western couples looking to adopt. Julie RASOARIMANANA is CATJA's director. She reviews every adoption application file before it goes on to Antananarive.
300 twins have come through here since 1987. Most of the families looking to adopt are French. In the beginning, everything was done here, on site. Now there's a new law that makes it more difficult. The government had noticed that there was a bit of a child trafficking problem.
At the other end of the village, the Fanatenane NGO has a radically different point of view. For them, adoption is not the answer.
We don't carry out adoptions. We think it encourages people to keep believing in the curse. It incites parents who are already poor to sell their children for money. That can go too far. There are even salesmen haggling over the price. A salesman is someone who looks for twins and who also looks for parents looking to adopt, especially foreigners. The child would go to the highest bidder. The adopting parents wouldn't wait for the papers. They'd just pay and leave. No one would say anything.
An open secret. Successive government administrations looked the other way for years. In 2007, the Malagasy government finally became aware of the situation and took steps to limit the parallel adoption market. The justice system is also trying to fight the taboo.
Now the taboo is even more present in the region. There's still a struggle between tradition and the law. We have to persuade people, especially the traditional leaders. But we have hope.
Change on the ground is slow. In the last few years, the number of abandoned twins has stayed the same. The only place where there is true hope for change is Fanavela. Since 1982, this little village on the Pangalan Canal has found a way to keep its twins. By using tradition to fight tradition. An unusual method, but one that works. The king regularly invites the whole village, twins included, to his home.
We had a series of meetings with the district officer concerning the twin taboo. Then we sacrificed some cows and asked the god of the cows to get rid of the curse. A month after the taboo was lifted, a family had twins. Even kings have had twins.
But Fanavela remains an exception. Little Antaboque twins continue to be abandoned, first by their parents, but also by their country. In Madagascar, fighting this curse is far from a top priority.
Well, that's it for this edition of Reporters. You can watch that and all our other reports again on our website, france24.com. That's france24.com. Until next time, bye for now.